Hi guys, I'm Mike with ReptilesExpress, and you have a lot of questions about packing your animals to send them out for shipments. So today we have the experts from Reptile Collective, Kevin and Steve, and they're going to show you what you've got to do to start shipping your reptiles.
Now Steve, we are here today to show these guys how to prepare a box for transit through Reptiles Express. What do you think? You ready?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Alright, we're going to put together the box first. Typical box. Fold your first set of folds in. And we're going to fold the second fold in. We're going to go ahead and take a piece of tape straight down the center. And what I like to do is I like to go ahead and close off these seams a little bit more. And also strengthen the bottom of the box. It's going to hold up a little bit better in transit if you put a little bit more tape on the bottom. Makes it nice and solid.
Now Steve, is this about the most common shipping box?
I believe this is the most common size. This is the one we use the most at Reptile Collective. What I'm doing right here is I'm going to go ahead and put the styrofoam in, put the big piece in the bottom there, then we're going to line the outside. And these pieces fit together kind of like a puzzle.
Right around the outside. Now why do you think they use a white box with red writing?
Well, I'll tell you, Kev. FedEx actually identifies any white box as a perishable item and puts them on a separate conveyor belt for special handling.
That's a great idea.
That's amazing. That's our finished product in there. We're going to go ahead and pack a couple leopard geckos today in a small box like this. What I like to do is I like to line the bottom with a piece of newspaper or some other newsprint. This is without any actual print on it. And we're going to line the bottom mostly just to protect these particular lizards. Occasionally if you're packing a snake, you may want to put this in there to absorb any leakage.
The leakage is to keep the box structurally intact.
And I basically just got that in there. I can fold that on over top of the lizards once I get them in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put a small piece of crumpled up paper towel in there. And that's just to give the lizard a little bit of something to ride on. I want to try and keep him in a cup that is small enough to limit his movement, unlike this. So we're going to get him in there, and he's got something to ride on and something to protect him a little bit in transit. Hopefully we'll get him in there and seal this lid. This is what makes live TV fun. Alright, so he's in there. We're going to go ahead and place him in the bottom of this. Make sure he's got plenty of cushioning around so he doesn't slide all around inside that box. I can fold that top over with that paper. And in this particular instance, I'm going to show you how to place a heat pack in case it's the cooler parts of the year. We're going to place the heat pack directly on the lid. And what I like to do, these heat packs do use up a little bit of oxygen. I like to place a hole right in the center, right where I'm going to put my heat pack.
How important do you think it is to have this much paper in to keep the animal from sliding about inside the box?
You asked that, Dr. Kevin. It's very important to minimize the actual movement of the animal. You want to keep them from moving about. An animal that has a lot of room to move is going to be very stressed in shipping. You also want to keep it from jostling. So you want to be able to give it to the FedEx driver and know that your animal is not going to be jerking and herking and jerking all around in there.
No herking and no
No
jerking.
herking and no herking.
No herking.
Jerking. You're going to take your heat pack out, and that red line, you want to go ahead and face that towards your animal. So it's actually going to face down when it's inside the box.
So the red line is the part where the heat is going to come out from, emit from, emitting the heat.
It will emit. And what we're going to do is we're going to tape it directly to our styrofoam lid. I like to run it along either side. You don't want to block off too much of the actual heat pad itself. And I like to loop a little bit of tape around to the top too and secure it on top. And this will just basically keep your heat pack from shifting all about, and it'll also keep it from coming in direct contact with your animal.
So the tape, the styrofoam, and the paper barrier is going to keep the heat pack from touching the packaging that your animal is actually in.
And it should still keep a fairly even temperature inside of your shipping box during transit. So we've got that all in there just like that. We're going to go ahead and close the top of this off. Actually, we need one more thing. We need our invoice and packing slip.
Oh yeah. Don't forget, put your invoice inside the box as required by sites most times.
And then we'll tape that center. Get our Reptiles Express label.
There you go.
Put that right in the center of your 7x7. And I like to cover the entire label.
Why do you think it's a good idea to cover the entire label?
If there's any rain in transit, you could always get your ink smeared. It's also nice to just know that it's not going to get scratched off or anything like that in transit.
That label is completely covered there.
And there you have it. That's how to ship a couple,
Wrong.
you can stand on that.
You could stand on this box. This is probably the most common box because lots of things fit inside of it.
I think that's it
You think that's it?
for that one. Let's move on to the next one.
Move on to another box a little bit larger. You want to ship something larger today?
Yes. Oh,
Who
wait,
wants to ship something larger? I'm gonna go get our supplies.